there is essentially no land, no soil. Space is limited, so is the sunlight in some areas around the school. Let's take a journey together and discover how in the midst of the Port of Spain metropolis, Newtown Boys RC Goes Green.
Our principal, Mrs. Denise Smart, will now tell us how this project came to be.
My name is Denise Smart and I became the principal of Newtown Boys in 2010. At that time, a relationship had already developed with the past principal, Ms. Joy Williams, with TSL through Nicole Galt. They had first started off with a health and safety program with us where they helped us to develop a safer school as well as our evacuation plans and other things in that type of field. They started, I think, around 2011 to do recycling in their own offices, and the idea came through Mr. Panton, their health and safety officer, that we could include Newtown Boys with the recycling aspect. And at the same time, the Ministry of Education brought in the CAC, Continuous Assessment component to the SEA program, where agriculture was going to be a major part. When we thought of agriculture at Newtown Boys, it is a stretch because there was no greenery in the school whatsoever. And it was a concern not only of myself but of the school is how would we integrate agriculture in our school where it is purely concrete and limited space. I jumped at the opportunity to try to include an agri aspect to the program that Jason had suggested. The program is basically Newtown Boys Goes Green, where we think of not only recycling but also introducing agriculture in an urban environment. For the school, it was a benefit in that, again, we're exposing our boys to something a lot of them will not get an opportunity to do in their own homes, because living in urban areas, we don't have the area space to do our own planting. So this was a method of teaching them how they could do it, as well as when Mr. Dale Rambaran came on staff in September of 2012, he came in and he brought his technical details as an agri teacher. So between TSL and the school, we have continued to work with UNDP to try to develop and change minds. One of my favorite sayings from Confucius is, if you plan for 1 year, plant rice. If you plan for 10 years, plant a tree. But if you plan for 100 years, educate children.
My name is Jason Panton from Trinidad Systems Limited, and I'm here to talk to you about the environmental project between Newtown Boys Primary School and Trinidad Systems Limited. This environmental project stemmed from an overall HSC project that we had ongoing for the last couple of years with Newtown Boys. We received a grant from the United Nations Development Program and were able to allocate to 3 phases of this environmental project. The first stage encompassed the construction of a vegetable garden. Here they will be able to grow crops such as okras, chive, cucumbers and lettuce. There will also be a butterfly garden hoping it will attract insects and assist in the pollination of the entire project. This first phase of the project also included a recycling aspect. For this, we reached out to Plastic, a local NGO, well known in the country for its various successful environmental initiatives implemented throughout. They were able to donate a large plastic bin for use by the Newtown Boys and the public as well, as 6 recycling plastic bins to encompass for plastic bottles and cans throughout the school. This recycling project was well accepted by the student body. The second phase of this project was an educational goal. Christopher Camacho from Plastic came into the school once a week, teaching the boys various initiatives including ecosystems, waste management, and of course recycling. The second phase of the environmental project that Newtown Boys will be embarking on in the coming months will be that of field trips to farms and other schools. The Newtown Boys project will act as an example to those schools. They may be able to use it as a template if they see it necessary to fund their own environmental projects. TSL looks forward to continuing its relationship with Newtown Boys. We see this environmental project as a way of creating a sustainable and environmental thinking among the student body. Trinidad Systems Limited looks at this project as a way that students and staff alike will always have environmental and sustainability at the forefront of their thinking.
It means that we are going to make a better place.
It means building back that big hole in our ozone layer by planting trees and everything else and making it even better. We have a chance of saving the earth from global warming.
What does Newtown Boys Goes Green mean to you?
Newtown Boys Going Green means to plant more trees and help save the environment.
Newtown Boys Going Green means that recycling and saving the environment.
Welcome friends. So thus far we have seen the genesis, the planning, and now we are at the implementation stage of our Newtown Boys Goes Green project. At this stage, we have already established our plastic recycling program in partnership with Plastic. We have also established our vegetable and butterfly gardens, as seen here. These gardens will be used to teach our boys proper agricultural techniques and practices, and hopefully inculcate in them a love for nature and a sense of environmental responsibility. With this in mind, you may wonder, where do we go from here? The next and most exciting phase of this implementation involves sharing the passion. What we mean by this is we are going to take our students out of the box. This will be accomplished by undertaking various field trips to other urban, peri-urban, and rural schools. On these field trips, our students will be exposed to other aspects of environmental awareness, namely by participating in tree planting exercises. In our urban and peri-urban schools, we hope to spark a love for agriculture by donating to the schools potted fruit trees and offering any research or assistance we can provide. Our goal is to create a network of environmentally conscious schools. At Newtown Boys RC, we have made environmental responsibility